This paella is under $10. It might be the cheapest paella you can get in Barcelona. Today we're going to be eating the cheapest foods across Barcelona, and I'm super excited to show it to all you guys. But before we do anything, let's roll the intro. Hola mis amigos.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. My name's Tal, also known as the Traveling Cloud, and this is my boy Steve Yallo.
Hey, how's it going?
We're backpacking across Europe, and you know how expensive Europe can be. So today we are going to be giving you guys a cheap food guide here in one of the major cities in Europe, Barcelona. We're gonna be bouncing to a bunch of cheap food restaurants all across the city and detailing them for you guys so you guys know where to go and get some cheap, delicious foods as we go on our journey. We're making videos all across this continent, so make sure you subscribe with those notifications turned on for both my channel and Steve's. And let's go find the best cheap food in Barcelona. Alright, and before we jump into the cheapest food in Barcelona, I wanted to tell you guys about who this video is sponsored by very briefly. It is a company called Hostel One, and they are sponsoring our trip out here. They're setting us up in a bunch of different awesome locations across Europe. They are amazing. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about them in the video later, but if you guys want to book with them, you can, because we have a booking code down below in the description. The booking code is
Yellowclat.
Let's jump right into the video, and we'll give you guys some more information about them later. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have come down to Pinchos J, or I don't know how you say J in Spanish. Is it hey?
Huh? Hey?
Pinchos, hey? I don't know. So pinchos are a sort of dish that they do in Barcelona. It's kind of famous to have it here in Catalonia, in the Catalan area of Spain. They're similar to tapas, but not exactly tapas. These are more foods that you eat by yourself, and they're really, really cheap. They're not going to fill you up necessarily, but they are very cheap. This thing is called a bomba, and it clocks in at €1.10 here at Pinchos J. You can get these at different places, but this is a place that I was recommended for both quality and price. It is a spicy meatball with potatoes inside. It is skewered on top of a tomato and a piece of bread. So we're gonna try this. I was warned that it's spicy.
All right.
Salud. Oh wow, that's really good.
You can see the middle of that meatball.
Look at that middle.
I barely touched the middle yet, but you're in there. He's in. He's deep in.
So this is what we're working in here. It's not spicy at all. It's a beef, meatball, potato inside. I will say, for €1, I mean, it's not going to fill you up by itself, but
Yeah, it's not made to fill you up, but it's a good snack for €1.
it's got a lot of carbs in it. It's all bready. You know, it's got a giant piece of bread at the bottom. This is the stuff that budget travelers are gonna want to eat. And the whole point of this concept of these cheap food videos is to keep it somewhat local. We don't want to just give you guys fast food places. So you could go to a McDonald's or Burger King and get cheap food. But here, this is where you're gonna want to get some of that local flair. It's gonna be really delicious. Bomba is a awesome snack. So we have made it down to La Rambla, which is the tourist spot in Barcelona. And we're heading to our next restaurant, but I did want to mention something that's really interesting about this street. So basically the way it works is there's a bunch of restaurants lined up on the main part of the street, and then there's a tourist slash, local walking street in the middle. You walk around, you get your food on the side, and then you sit down inside of this part of the street, and you get your food like many of the people behind me are doing right now. I don't know exactly where we're going right now, if that's gonna be the scenario there, but you can kind of see how this is showcased around here. You got your foods, your restaurants back there, and people sitting right in the middle. Steve, are you excited to get more food in your stomach?
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Yo tengo hambre. Guys, we've made it down to a place called Nostrum. This, from what I've read, is a sort of like fast food but homemade Spanish style cuisine that you can pick up and go. It's meant really for workers and for busy people, but it's cheap and it's supposed to be really tasty and, of course, the most important thing, somewhat local. So we're gonna pop on in there, see if we can get a few snacks and things to eat. We're gonna head on in there. So right here by the fridge, this is kind of the main section of food that you're gonna wanna get here. It's all pre-packaged stuff from the refrigerator that you can warm up here in the microwave and get some delicious food. And it's all pre-packaged and fresh.
What we got here?
We got some cheap eats right here. So I asked for the recommendation from the lady that works here, and she kindly recommended that I get this sort of fried chicken thing, and then a croqueta, which is it's kind of like a fried dumpling. It's not really a dumpling. I don't know what it really is. It's fried dough, usually with stuff inside. They'll do this with ham, they'll do this with chicken, they'll do this with beef. This is spinach. This whole thing cost me $3.50. So quite a bit of food for 3 euros and 50 euro cents. Let's try it out. Take a bite. Look at this little chicken boy.
I think the special thing about this place is the convenience of it.
Convenience and the factor that you're staying local. Once again, you could go to McDonald's, you could go to Burger King, but you come here, you're doing it as the locals do. I think it's like a fast option for something cheap. You want to stay somewhat local, this is a very good option. We're going to jump off to our next location. Alright, so we have jumped to another spot now. This place is called Konik. This is a super cheap hamburger spot. It's known for just super cheap burgers. They range, I think, in like the 3.5 to maybe 6 euro max. So it's pretty cheap. It's a good place to get filled. It's not necessarily local because a hamburger isn't really a Spanish dish, but it's a famous chain. I think they have a few other locations around the city, and people really love this spot. And it's kind of in that classic Spanish environment. It's just off of La Rambla, so very close. So we're gonna pop in there, get a few burgers, see what they taste like. Yummy in our tummies. So we're in Konik right now. We looked at the menu. The menu, all the prices for the hamburgers are about 3.5 euros to maybe 6 euros maximum, and that's more of their premium burgers. But all the other like normal burgers are between 3.5 to 4 euros max, which is fantastic. We got 2 different types to test out. One that was more based off of guacamole, and the next one is a vegetarian burger. So for you vegan vegetarians out there, you can feel a little saucy as well.
So if you are maybe a budget traveler, you meet a nice looking woman in your hostel, you want to take her out on a date that seems fancy, and you think you know what you're talking about, this could be a good place to bring her. This is like a really nice place, and prices are not too expensive, so it could be a good date place.
There you go. Budget food for budget backpackers is the ultimate key, and if you can make it look like you know what you're doing, you might be able to win over a lass in your hostel. Alright, so we got our first Konik burger. I was under the impression that these burgers were going to be small. I guess they're not. They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. This is a pretty hearty meal for 3 euro. So it's not bad at all. So this is the veggie burger. We got a veggie patty with some vegetables on top. We got like tomato and bell pepper. Let's try it out, see what it's like. Very solid veggie burger. The bread's very fluffy, so this is gonna fill you up. But it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid burger. This one was their guacamole burger, which has some guac at the bottom. I can see some over here on this side. And we got some chicken, I think, on top, and then some onions. Let's try that out. See what that's like. That is very good. This is what it's all about, folks. This is the budget meal that you want. For 3.50 euro, I can't really find another value that'd be better fitted than this. How guacky is it? For 3 euro, you can't beat that. That's a good value.
It's great. The bread is nice and crispy, fresh, definitely very fresh. Has a tomato in there. Yeah, that combination, that's good.
Alright, so literally just 2 stores down from where we just were, we have come to a store called Ciento Montaditos, or 100 Montaditos. This place is famous for having 100 different euro-priced sandwiches and beers. Day drinking is really popular in Europe. So here you can kind of combo up with like a euro sandwich and a cheap maybe euro and a half beer. So that's what we're gonna do right here. We're gonna jump into the Montaditos place and get some sandwiches and see what it's like. All right, so we got tons of options on the menu. Just options upon options upon options for 1 euro sandwiches. That is such a crazy good deal. All right, guys, we have checked into 100 Montaditos. I am fully expecting every time I order food here for there to be some sort of tax, because that's how it is in the US, but it's not. I'm like,
1 euro? It is 1 euro.
I got out of my wallet, you know, each sandwich is 1 euro, and I got out of my wallet like €3.50 because I was like, let's give me some tax. And on the screen, it's just 2 euro, so that's all it is. This restaurant is very busy. I've heard that it's extremely busy. Okay, we've got a mortadito. These things they're tiny little buggers. They look really fresh and they look really delicious. Look, one of these is not gonna fill you up. No way, no how, right? But if you get 5 of these for 5 euros, you're gonna be a full boy.
It's a whole handful.
Or a full girl. And if you drink some beer alongside that, you're gonna be full and maybe a little drunk. So, let's jump right into tasting these little sandwiches.
Ooh.
Mortadito.
Yeah, here we go.
How that boy? Yeah?
That pork sauce, that barbecue sauce in there is so sweet, and the bread is nice and crispy, but really fresh, right?
Oh my god, that bread is amazing.
Yeah, that bread is so good.
This is a great concept for anybody who's trying to eat cheap in Barcelona. We're gonna finish this sandwich and we're gonna head off to our final place to get some cheap eats in Barcelona. Let's jump off there now. So before we jump into the last food item here on our cheap Barcelona food guide, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Hostel One, the hostel company that we're staying with here in Barcelona and in a bunch of different locations across Europe. Hostel One is hard to explain or to put into words. It is essentially a family of hostels. When you check in, they give you this awesome wristband, which you can essentially collect by visiting a bunch of their different locations. When Steve and I first checked into the Hostel One here in Parallel in Barcelona, it was incredible. We were instantly greeted with happy faces and we partied all night long with the staff and with the other guests staying there. And that was pretty much a regular occurrence every day at the hostel. And apparently it's like that in all of their locations across Europe. As well, they have free dinners every single night. They have tons of different activities that they'll take you on. Tours, beach stays, partying at night, all-inclusive atmosphere for a hostel that you can come and stay with while doing your self-exploration. Use our booking code down below in the description, YELLOWCLAT, to book yourself your first hostel and save some money before you come on your adventure here and stay with any of the Hostel One locations across this amazing continent. We're having so much fun with them and we want to send them a bunch of love down below in the description, so please go follow them and send them some love. And let's jump right back into the cheapest food across Barcelona. We've come down to our last and final spot. This is called Cerveceria La Sureña. We're trying here, all right? We're trying. It's been really fun going to all the places that we're going to today because almost all of them have a sign on the outside of the store showing you how cheap the food is. So we're gonna pop on in there. We're gonna find some stuff in here. I think this is the one that was the most local Spanish. I could be wrong, but I think in there we could be able to get a paella and other things that are really, really cheap. Listen, right now, I need to clarify something. For all the people that are watching from Spain, from España, don't get angry. This is not going to be the last paella we're going to try, okay? I promise you. We're just making a cheap food video. It's just going to be a budget paella. This paella costs €7 flat, that's it. Paella usually runs you between 10, maybe 15 euros, sometimes even higher than that for a really, really good one. This is a budget paella, this is cheap. If you're in Spain, you wanna try paella, this is what it's like. I should also mention paella is not a Catalonian dish, it's not a Barcelona dish. It was made in Valencia, a city in the south of Spain, south of here, where this dish is from. It's a super popular dish in Spain in general. It's something that a lot of people try, and there's lots of different variations of it. In this one, we have some peas, some rice, some chicken, some shrimp, and I think there's some other like seafood thrown in here, just mixed around. But this is my first paella. I've never ever had paella before. So I'm excited to try this. I've heard about it, heard lots of good things. I'm just gonna give it a little bitesy dooski here. My first try of paella in España. Oh my God, that's great. I'm gonna try some chicken with it. I put some lemon on this as well, and it just absorbed all the juices in there on the rice. The rice is just super, there's so many flavors in here.
That seafood flavor in there. You can see, this looks like a clam or a mussel. See that?
How's that taste?
That's really good. Ooh, the shrimp in here too.
Get that shrimp.
Look at that little scramp.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce this paella was delicious. I had no part in making it. I don't know why I'm proud to announce it, but it was fantastic. Steve is just scarfing it down right now. It's so good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have just hit up our last food spot for the day.
I am full.
That was great. What a fantastic day of just full-on eating, huh?
It's a nice mix of food. Very unique at each place we went to.
I'm happy. A lot of times with these videos, I'm not sure about the list because I'm not a local here, and it's kind of hard to find the best local spots that taste really good. But I think today was actually a really, really solid video. So I want to remind you guys right now to make sure that you send some love and check out Hostelworld down in the description below for sending us out on this epic adventure across Europe. As well, make sure you're checking out Steve's channel down below in the description as well. If you want to support this channel, you can buy some merchandise down below in the description or on screen right now as well. You should subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single video, because I've actually made budget food guides all over the world in a bunch of different countries. Are you all right?
Almost just tore myself a new butthole there.
Okay. As I was saying, I've made budget food guides around the world in a bunch of different capital cities all across the world. So make sure you're checking out that playlist down below in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys a long time. Your Spanish word for the day today, because we're doing that again, is comida, which just means food. Best possible word for today's video. We'll see you guys then. Goodbye, Klats.